Somewhere in Los Angeles, right now, a woman named Jill Price is sitting in her kitchen trying to eat breakfast. It's a Tuesday. She can't finish the meal because her brain is showing her every Tuesday breakfast she has ever eaten, in order since she was 14 years old. She didn't ask for this, she can't turn it off. She has begged neurologists for a switch. There isn't one. Jill's brain does the exact thing every movie has promised would make you a god. It runs closer to 100% than yours ever will, and she wants it to stop. You've heard the myth your whole life. We only use 10% of our brains. Unlock the rest, and you become Lucy, or Bradley Cooper in Limitless, or a monk levitating in a cave. It is one of the most repeated ideas in modern culture. It is also completely false. Neuroscientists have known since the 1990s that every region of your brain lights up over the course of a normal day. There is no dark 90%. There is no locked room. Your brain is already on. All of it. What it is doing every second is deleting almost everything it takes in, which raises a question that should bother you. Why would evolution build a 3-pound organ this expensive, burning 20% of your body's energy, and then engineer it to throw most of its work in the trash? What is your brain so afraid of you seeing? The answer lives inside a small number of people whose delete key is broken. In 2000, a 34-year-old woman walks into the office of James McGaugh, a neuroscientist at the University of California, Irvine. She hands him a letter. It says, "I remember every day of my life since I was 14. Every conversation, every meal, every time someone hurt my feelings, and I cannot make it stop." McGaugh has spent 40 years studying memory. What she is describing should not be possible, so he tests her. He pulls a random date from the 1980s. She tells him it was a Wednesday, tells him what was on the news, tells him what she ate. He checks. She is right. He tests her for 6 years. She is never wrong. In 2006, McGaugh publishes the case and coins a term for what she has: hyperthymesia. Roughly 60 people on Earth are now confirmed to have it. It sounds like a superpower. Ask them. Price described her memory in her own book as a running movie she cannot pause. Every argument she ever lost, she loses again on the anniversary. Every ex-boyfriend, every dead relative, every embarrassment from middle school, replayed in full color, on schedule, forever. Because moving on requires forgetting, and her brain refuses. Now, zoom out, because hyperthymesia is only one door in a much larger house. Moscow, 1920s. A young journalist named Solomon Shereshevsky is sitting in a newsroom meeting. His editor is reading out the day's assignments. Names, addresses, story ideas. Everyone is scribbling frantically. Shereshevsky is not writing anything down. The editor stops. He asks why. Shereshevsky, genuinely confused, recites the entire meeting back, word for word, in order. That afternoon, he is sent to a psychologist named Alexander Luria. Luria will study him for the next 30 years. What Luria finds is a man whose brain does not filter at all. Shereshevsky doesn't just remember words. He tastes them. Every word carries a color, a temperature, a texture. The number 1 is a proud, pointed man. The number 2 is a woman. A voice on the phone is yellow and crumbly like an old candle. When Luria reads him a list of 70 nonsense syllables, Shereshevsky remembers it. When Luria tests him again, unannounced, 15 years later, he still remembers it. But there is a problem. Shereshevsky cannot read a novel. The words explode into so much color and taste and sensation that the plot dissolves before he reaches the end of the sentence. He cannot recognize faces reliably, because a face at 3 p.m. and the same face at 5 p.m. are two different faces to him. Different light, different color, different feeling. He cannot hold down steady work. He cannot forget an insult. Luria's book about him is called The Mind of a Mnemonist. It reads less like a case study and more like a quiet horror story about a man drowning in his own senses. You are not built like this. Thank whatever you think. And here's the part nobody talks about. You've maybe seen Jason Padgett on a viral video. The man mugged outside a karaoke bar in 2002 who woke up seeing the world as geometric fractals. The internet loved him. Acquired savant, they called him. Genius from a head injury. What the videos left out is that Padgett, in his own memoir, describes the years afterward as severe OCD, agoraphobia, and PTSD. He counted everything. He saw geometry in his cereal and couldn't eat it. The math was real. The suffering was also real. The pattern repeats across every documented case. Kim Peek, the real-life inspiration for Rain Man, could read 2 pages of a book simultaneously, one eye per page, and memorize the contents of 12,000 books. He also could not button his own shirt. Daniel Tammet can recite pi to 22,514 digits from memory. He describes his childhood as unbearable sensory chaos, hiding under tables while colors screamed at him. The gift and the wound are the same wound. Which brings us back to the question, why did evolution build the delete key? Because a brain that remembers everything cannot decide anything. A brain that feels everything cannot act. A hunter on the savannah who noticed every leaf, every insect, every shift of light, every echo of every past hunt, starves. The ancestors who lived long enough to become your ancestors were the ones whose brains ruthlessly threw information away. Forgetting is not a bug. Forgetting is what let your bloodline eat. Try this. Stop reading for 1 second and notice what you weren't noticing. The pressure of your clothes on your skin, the hum of whatever is humming near you, the taste in your mouth, the weight of your tongue against your teeth, your breath. All of that was there the whole time. Your brain was hiding it from you, on purpose. Every face in a crowd, gone. Every conversation you overheard on a train, gone. Every meal that has faded into a warm smear labeled Some Tuesday years ago. Every version of your ex you no longer see when you close your eyes. Every insult from middle school that time has finally sanded down. This is not a limitation. This is how a self gets built. A self is what's left after the deleting. Jill Price cannot love anyone new without loving every past person at the same volume. Shereshevsky cannot read a novel because the words are too loud to hear the story. Peek could not dress himself because the world would not shut up long enough. You can dress yourself. You can love someone new. You can forget eventually, mostly, the worst thing anyone ever said to you. You are not underusing your brain. You are surviving it. Every memory you still have exists because millions were destroyed to protect it.